200 to 250 pages. How long is your book? That's not a Sonology. To confess that when I started working on her book, I had a lot of apprehensions because of how young she was. But it took only a couple of conversations to understand that I was dealing with a really mature person who had a clear vision for the book. She knew exactly what she wanted, but she was also very welcome to feedback. In any sort of criticism, and she was really open to. Okay, Ravi clearly disagrees. I think Anusha is all set to conquer the YA space in India. I'm wish her all the luck. And thank you so much, Sonali, for being here and watching the book. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mimi.
And I think my association with her begins now. I've been associated with her father, but I think I'm shifting now.
Mobile.
I was very surprised when I knew Ravi's daughter had published a book. I'd never read it. She was 12 years old when she published her first book, very promising. She was writing her second book. And while I was writing my book, I could hear the talk was on and this was going on and all that. And I knew that it was going to come out at some point. It was going to be published and she'd written it and everything. And then the day arrived and I said, okay, young adult fiction. Interesting. Let's see what is there. I picked up the book and I promised you from the time I picked it up, I put it down only when I had finished the book. Fast-paced, absolutely amazing. And I must say, I had never met Anusha. I met her through her book and I told Ravi when I read the book that I said, you've got a really sorted daughter. She knows exactly what she wants. She knows how she has to deal with things. And she's so mature in the way she has written it. And the way the problems in the book, the way she has solved them, the way she has dealt with issues that are being dealt with. And it was very interesting to see where the young adult of this generation is going. It was so interesting. They are sorted. I mean, I keep feeling that there is so much. I wrote a parenting book and I'm panicking about my son becoming a teenager at some point, and I'm going to have all these. Is he going to understand things and what is it going to be, the exposure, and all sorts of things that are happening. But when I look at Anusha here, it just gives me hope. It's amazing and I really wish that this is our generation to come. We are sorted. That's what I think. Anusha, so young, amazingly well written book, and I think just at the beginning of your career, of your life, I really wish you all the best, and I think that great frontiers that you're going to conquer, and I hope I can be a part of those and always read those books before they come out. There's always a thrill, that you can read it before everybody else reads it. So please remember that copy I need to get for doing this. That's the payback. Am I right on that? I deserve it? Yeah. Okay?
Thank you so much, Sonali. Thank you so very much. Well, the lady of the moment, everybody. We'd like, before we go into the official, talking about the book, well, Anusha, we'd like you to say a few words and a lot more words after that. We're also going to have Anushri Majumdar, who's the journalist with Indian Express, who's going to be in conversation with Anusha, and she's going to get out insights into the book. But before that, Anusha, your big moment today. Thank you so much for choosing Crossword, and how do you feel?
First of all, thank you guys for being here today. It's a pretty big moment for me, and I have a speech prepared, so I'm going to read that. So, what the best part about writing a book is? It's when that first copy arrives in the mail, and you open it and you see your name on the cover that you picked, and then you flip through it and you see all your words written in it. But they are your words, they're your sentences, but they still look so different because everything is so professional. And it's so hard to believe that just a few months back, all of this was just a Word document with hundreds of comments and, corrections just scribbled in the margins. And I honestly have a lot of people to thank for that, for bringing me here. And since nobody ever reads the acknowledgement section of a book, I'm going to thank them here right now. So first of all, thanks Mom and Dad for supporting me in the best way possible, which is by not interfering. And I know Mom wanted to, but thanks Dad for holding her back. A huge shout out to all my friends who generally like to show their affection for me by bullying me. And I'm so scared of making grammatical errors in front of them because you can't backspace in real life. And I had an English teacher once in 7th standard who cut 3 marks for me in my examination. Why? Because my answers were too long. And she never did give me those marks, but she taught me to play the man and not the situation. And I just went into 11th, I switched a board, and my old school taught me to always be myself, and my new school is teaching me to be the best version of myself. And so thank you again, all of you all, for being here today, and thanks to everybody responsible, and Nimi too, she did a fantastic job with my book. And thanks for not judging me for all the stupid mistakes I made. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anusha. I'd like now to call upon Anusha Majumdar, journalist, Indian Express. She's going to be talking to Anusha.
Hello everyone. I usually am not on stage, so excuse any silly remarks and things and long pauses. So I was just wondering, Anusha, if we should have the reading first, so that everyone has an idea of the book, of Anusha's voice through these characters. So shall we go ahead with that?
I'm not reading. Kirtana.
Can we have a round of applause for the brave
Part of her book. Veera. Arjun was whispering urgently, his grip on her wrist vice-like. Maybe you shouldn't see her. She looked up. The bright fluorescent lights were blinding her. They were at the end of a long corridor. Her parents had gone ahead, but Arjun was holding her back. Fear clawed at her throat. He was right. She didn't want to see Ananya. Maybe if she didn't see her, then she could just go back home and pretend that none of this had happened. Her brain was still running on a lag. Going on in her head. That look of pity, even from her own brother, was too much for Veera. In that moment, she hated everyone. She yanked her wrist out of his grip savagely and turned the corner. Her stomach dropped as she took in the scene. She saw Ananya's mom, her pretty face marred by a cascade of tears. And then there was her dad, his hair, and he looked so broken. Veera's parents were sitting beside them, consoling them. And in between all of them was a lump. Her breath caught. Before she knew it, she was kneeling beside the blanket-covered form, ripping the sheets off the lump. And there she was, the one person she probably knew better than herself. Milky skin, full lips, wavy brown hair, and eyes that would have been dark brown had they been open, framed by long black lashes. Ananya lay still, her chest neither open. No, the dam broke and the tears flowed down her face. She knew it. She was shaking Ananya, begging, pleading with her to get up. Feeling flooded back into her, and the force of the pain made her see red. Fire coursed through her veins. Everything around her exploded like a nuclear blast. Thank you.
I'm just going to go.
Pick a passage that was too into the book where everything was getting resolved. So I wanted to give a passage that shows the way I write, and also that shows how this book is structured, the emotion behind it, and I think it's just set the premise for you to want to know what happens more. So because I don't want you guys to buy the book because you all came here, right?
But do buy the book because you came here as well. It won't hurt. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions because I think all of us have been thinking about it. And it really shot Anusha into the publishing world, and there were very good reviews of this book. It has taken you 4 years since to work on this. So what could you tell me about the seed of this book? What compelled you to sort of tell this story?
So Penguin actually approached me for this book after seeing a post on my blog that was similar to, it was dark. So they wanted me to write something along that line, and I had never considered doing any of that, but when I wrote this book I realized this is the kind of writing that I want to be doing. this. So I preferred forming emotional connections with my audience through the books rather than just fantasy where I'm not able to connect so emotionally with them.
Was this something that you felt?
I think it's a good thing because I can relate a lot better to my readers, and I hope so at least. And the difficult part, I think, is just managing stuff, and some of the things I've written in the book have not gone down well with my mom. So, yeah, that was very bonding experience.
What did you learn about your mom? And what
She
did your
couldn't-
mom learn about
I mean,
you?
she couldn't do much about it, which is why I didn't let her read the book till it was done. So then there wasn't
Your mom
much. she could do.
here is your, and how did you respond?
I did read the draft. So I did read the draft and I knew it would go through some editing. So I was hopeful that some of it will get toned out.
But is it something that parents are? I'm going to pose the question to your parents that you're a little wary that when you're writing a book, you're really putting yourself out there. There's so much, especially with the first couple of books that anybody writes. There's so much of yourself out there. It's a window into who you are as a person. Did you worry about the fact that at such a young age, Anusha was stepping out into the world in such a major way?
Yes, I was worried about it.